I'm Jenny Smiles, and this is my save file.
2, 1. What's up, gamers? And welcome to the Save File Podcast, where like every video game character, every gamer has an origin story to tell. I'm your host, Golden Lion, and today's guest on episode 24, like Bot Harry says, there's our girl. I humbly and respectfully welcome Jenny Smiles. What is up, Jenny?
What is up, Gold Lion? Thank you so much for having me on here.
It is pleasure's mine. Thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with the Golden Pride and being in here in the Safe File Podcast. Hell yeah. So how you doing today? How you doing with all this craziness going on right now in the world?
I'm doing good, honestly. This like time super wild for me, but it's actually kind of drawn me, back into getting into the streaming more and longer hours. And I kind of am blessed. I'm finding the blessings in disguise and this kind of craziness instead of just being like stuck at home. I'm like, well, I get to be forced to like do the stuff that I kind of been putting off, cleaning my room.
Clean it.
It's not that clean. It's all over there. I was just telling him that before I started, but like just simple stuff and like spending more time with and doing things that I enjoy, so I don't know. It's kind of made me slow down and realize a lot of stuff. And I don't know. I've found this to be like more of a blessing than anything. Of course, I don't know what's going to be in the future, but I'm just kind of holding strong to like whatever happens and keeping a positive attitude about it. That's all you can do.
It's good to hear that you're seeing it in such a view. I feel like for the people that are listening, it's definitely a good catalyst for people to learn how to take this and that perspective, which is great.
Oh yeah. Life is all about how you perceive stuff and that's literally all it is. It's like you decide, I'm going to think about it this way, and your thoughts control your actions. So that's kind of just like the moral of like living is like, I'm going to decide to think about it in this way and perceive it this way so that I can act the way that I want to act with a positive attitude instead of negative,
Of course. I mean, this is definitely, I feel like, these are definitely the times to show people's true colors and how they react to pressure, I guess you could say. See how things are.
I agree.
Definitely. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on. Tell us about your first experience with gaming.
Oh gosh, my first experience in gaming?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
we're going way back.
About, like me realizing I probably shouldn't do this because I am a terrible gamer. Like I am so bad at video games.
Tell us about like when you picked up that controller, you're like, this is me.
Okay. So when I picked up the controller, I realized I probably shouldn't be using a controller because I am terrible on controller. I tried for probably, I want to say like 5 or so months until I realized like I have got to invest in a PC because this whole controller thing is just not working for me. I was so bad. I mean, I could barely like run, and I was always the person in like the game that people were like, I don't really want to play with her. She's not that good.
Damn.
So I was like so motivated to get better, and everyone kept telling me if you switch to mouse and keyboard, like you could be better on that. So I made the jump to that and kept working hard and like trying to get better at that so it would be easier for people to play with me and stuff like that. I'm not good at video games. That's not even like the reason I started streaming. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, when they first meet me, most of the time I'm not even playing the game. Like most of the time it's just like a web show.
Yeah.
And the game's in the background. That's basically how my channel's kind of explained. It's just I'm either dancing, singing, talking, and just getting to know everybody in my community and then like growing my family. And then whenever we just kind of chill, it's like, all right, let's play a game now. But then it'll go back to just dancing and singing and stuff like that. I do like to tell people I love gaming. It's fun and it's enjoyable, but more than the game, they are more important, and they should know that at this point. Like I do not care about the game. I will stop if we're in the middle of a Fortnite game and I'm at the top of a mountain and everybody can see me, or I'm in the low valley and everybody's at the top of the mountain. I will just stop there, read chat, and make sure everyone's taken care of. And like I will get sniped. I don't care what's going on. Like chat is more important than anything to me. So
That's
streaming
great.
and gaming is like fun, but it's just not my main thing in my channel, if that makes sense.
Does make sense.
Background.
We'll get more into that though later on.
Okay.
Cool. All right, Jenny. Well, like every person in the world, there's always a character creation, how we formed ourselves, and basically this topic is we're gonna get in depth to the person who you are today and how you become who you become. So first, I normally ask people, like, how'd you get your gamer tag? Jenny Smiles. So obviously Jenny's your name, I hope.
Yes, my name is Jenny, and I do really want to say my name is Jenny Simile. It's on my social media accounts. A lot of people, I was telling him about this before we even started talking, but people message me and tell me I'm spelling Smiles wrong, but Simile is actually my last name. On Mixer, originally my name was Jenny Simile, and when I would pop around different chats and stuff, the streamer would always struggle with my last name, or they would call me Jenny Smiley or Jenny Smile or something like that. And so after a while, I kind of realized, oh, okay, this is multiple people doing this. And also there's a song that I like from, I don't know if you know Panic at the Disco, Brendan Murray.
Yes, come on now, yeah.
Yeah, I was just taking a sure. He sings this song called Sarah Smiles. It's about his wife. And I like that song a lot. So I thought it was kind of cute to do Jenny Smiles, because I'm a really smiley and happy person anyway. It kind of felt like it fit me. Yeah. And so that kind of just fell into place. It was more so people calling me that anyway. And I was like, well, it works out, I guess. So we'll try this out and see. But yeah, I mean, that was how that name started. But originally, like I said, my channel is Jenny Simile. And then it switched probably, I want to say maybe 2 months into me having my Mixer account. I just switched to that. Maybe a little bit more. I can't remember, actually. It's been a while.
Well, it was a good move. Yeah. Unfortunately, you have one of those last names people are just like, the heck is that? Yeah.
Exactly. It's an Italian last name, though.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what's the origin for that last name?
Yeah, it's Italian. So both my parents are Italian, and that's kind of how I got the emote, the sack emote, because I always mess around with people. They'll say, why are you so tan? I'm like, Italian, or
I'm Italian.
Spaghetti, whatever, It's just funny.
Where are you from?
I'm from Auburn, Alabama. So it's kind of funny that all this happened, but my parents are from up north, so you'll see me have an accent sometimes on stream. I'll say coffee or both or something like that, because my mom still has an accent, she's from Jersey. But yeah, I grew up here in Auburn, Alabama, and I haven't moved anywhere else yet. We'll see where the future takes me, but that's kind of where my home is.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
So you literally, damn. So you out here, you just chilling, been here all your life. Why'd your parents? Yeah. Okay, so mom from Jersey. What about your dad?
He's from Philly. So throw this in here real quick. I'm a big Eagles fan. Fly Eagles fly, baby. Or football. That is where that came from. People are like, why are you wearing an Eagles jersey? You're from Alabama. I'm like, my dad's from Philly. All my uncles, it was a big kind of family thing where we all just go for the Eagles. And I grew up in Eagles onesies and just stuff like that. So that's why my dad's from Philly.
How was it like growing up in Alabama? Or how is it, actually?
It's a really small town, so everybody knew each other. And even now, it's kind of funny because the people, we went to elementary school, or kindergarten, elementary school, all through high school. We were kind of all together, and it was like that. And now, me being a streamer and me, kind of being out there a lot, there's all these people that'll message me and be like, it's so funny that you're, doing this. And because it's just we all know each other,
Yeah.
I never had my own. I wouldn't say I had my own clique. I was the person in high school that was just friends with everybody.
Okay.
I was in my own I was my own person, But yeah.
Small town.
It wasn't so there's a college. There's a big Auburn's a really big college. It's a college town. So the only things really to do here are go to football games whenever they're going on during football season, attend baseball, basketball stuff, kind of sports events. And then I worked at a boutique since I was 15. I had 2 different boutiques I worked at. So I'm really into fashion and clothes and stuff like that. And that was basically my growing up experience. It was small town. We hung out at behind Mapco. It's a gas station. That was our hangout. I mean, just
a gas station is the town hangout.
Oh yeah, it was behind the gas station.
That's how you know it's a small town.
It was a small town. We hung out at a gas station. We hung out at random neighborhood pools. I don't know. We just didn't have anything to do. I cannot wait until I'm blessed enough to be able to like move out somewhere like LA or just wherever life takes me. But I definitely don't want to stay here. That's not the end goal. But I'm not trying to run away. I'm not trying to leave my parents' house because I want to, you know, save as much as possible while I am still growing in my business and stuff. And then when I feel comfortable enough, branch out and stuff. But I don't have any specifics, but LA is definitely somewhere I would love to end up. I've always actually pictured myself there. Even growing up, I thought I would end up somewhere like that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you definitely. I thought you were from LA, like California, at least somewhere in the West Coast.
Everyone says that. And everyone thinks that.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't know.
It's totally okay. I don't know what it is. Like I just have that vibe, I think.
But why LA though? Have you visited?
Well,
actually?
You know, there's other than like 100 Thieves being there and like, you know, all the gaming type stuff. Everyone is there. Like you have your musicians, you have your, you know, all the groups of YouTubers, the content creators, and it's like the heart of LA. If I walk around vlogging, like I was super into YouTube. If I walk around vlogging here, I know everybody and everybody knows me. I know everybody and their mom. Like I'm out here holding the camera up and it's just awkward and uncomfortable. If I'm walking around LA holding up a camera, vlogging, like that's the norm. I'm trying to be there. Like I'm trying to be in the norm where it's not weird to do that because here people are going to be like, this girl thinks she's hot stuff or something. She's out here holding a camera. She thinks she's better than everybody else, like whatever.
But people just don't get it, you know?
They don't get it here. And like, it is such a small town and it is so different out there. And just, it's across the country. I mean, like, you know, way on the other side. So I can't really explain why, but it's just something that I've always wanted to experience. I have traveled there before and I visited. I love the ocean as well. There's just a lot of reasons I want to be out there. And you never know. I could run into David Dobrik, so that's a dream of mine. I got a lot of reasons, you know.
Who again?
David Dobrik. He's a YouTuber. Do you know who that is?
No. I don't.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to use the beep on me? Okay.
I had to use it on you real quick. I cannot believe you don't know. Okay, so you have homework after this podcast. You better go watch some David Dobrik videos on YouTube, okay?
What's his name again?
David Dobrik. I am a fan. It's really interesting why I like him. He's really funny. He has actually a really good dude. Now, a lot of my morals and his morals like definitely clash and like what we're going towards in life. But he does make me laugh, and he's actually a good person. So like giving back to people and just has a good heart. So and he makes a lot of people like happy, just his videos and stuff. So I do look up to him, and I think he's he grinds really hard for where he is. He started on Vine, actually. I bet if you see him and look him up, you'll know exactly who it is.
Probably. I'm not good with names, but I'm good with faces, though. That's
you'll
me,
know. You'll know exactly who he is.
So, cool. Ever considered Texas? Some people in the chat saying Texas.
Texas? I've traveled to Texas many times. I have friends that live there. I mean,
Where did you go, though? Where did you go, though?
I mean, I don't know. Like, why go to Texas?
The cities. I mean, like, where'd you go?
Oh, are you talking about for when I went to LA?
No, I'm talking about like Texas. Like, where in Texas did you go?
Okay, I've been to Dallas. I've been to San Antonio. I've been to, I don't know, what are some other places in Texas?
You've been to Austin?
I've been to Austin. I used to, whenever I also did, I worked and traveled and sold clothes with a company for like markets. If you know what that is, like, companies will go to market, buy clothes and sell it at their store, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
So I worked for that. I did a lot of stuff growing up, and like I loved it. I traveled a lot, did all of that stuff. Texas never felt like it for me. I don't know why people like, unless it feels like home, like it just didn't feel like that for me. I don't mind visiting or anything, but I just can't explain it further than like it just didn't feel like it.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so let's dive into your parents a little bit. How'd your parents meet, if you know? You don't know.
I literally don't know. I literally don't even. Okay, hold on. Like, if I try to really think about it, like, no, I have no idea. My parents are very interesting. They're very individual creatures. That's the best way I could put that. They're their own person, and they like coexist in the same world of marriage. If I don't know how to explain it. They are very much so their own people, but they have a marriage and they just kind of make it work as best as possible. But they also have they've always had their own paths.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't know how they met. I gotta ask him that now. I'm actually kind of curious. I will say though, when they got married, and I have an older sister. Well, okay, so she's my half sister. My mom was married once before, and then that was my older sister. She had my older sister, and then my parents got married, and then they had my brother, and then me.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother's 24. I'm 21, so we're a couple of years apart. And my dad and my mom my mom's 60 right now. She had me in her 40s, or I think in her 40s. Yeah. I was an oops baby. It was not that they didn't want me. I was just like, oh, like, okay, this is a blessing, but we were not ready for this. So it was just kind of funny. I don't know all their details of their life. I really kind of I'm super individual too. Like,
okay.
I let everybody else do their own thing. And when I grew up, like I said, I started working at 15. I started coaching I did cheerleading my whole life, like all-star cheerleading. So I was like very active and just sports, like, you know, I did track and field. I did basketball. I did just everything. But I started coaching when I was 15, 16, 17, 18. I started working in a boutique coaching. I did like all these random jobs. I always took care of myself. My goal was to never ask my parents for like money. If they wanted to give me something, then I would like take it to like help better myself if they wanted that. But I never wanted to ask for that, like ask for anything from them. So my goal was to take care of myself first. So that one day, like, I could look back and be like proud of the fact that I did that on my own. And, you know, they helped me with tons of stuff. I'm super grateful for my parents and all their hard work and everything they did help. But for now, like, I'm still living at the house. My dad lives he's in Texas right now. He's kind of, with this whole virus thing going on, he's like jumping around different places. But he's always been like that. He's a pilot, so he flies.
Oh, okay.
Just all over the place. I'm like going off on a trance. I don't even know where I am right now.
It's all good. Oh man, jeez. But damn, I'm surprised you actually don't know how your parents met.
Dude, I'm like tripped out by that too. What the heck is wrong with me? I'm telling you, like, my parents are individual people. When I was born, I literally think I was just doing my own life thing. I don't know. I really don't know. I've always been very, like, not standoffish. I'm super outgoing, but I didn't ask many questions. I just lived, like,
kind of just did your own thing.
Is that weird?
No, we all have our own journeys.
Kind of weird, I guess.
There's no such thing as weird, okay? We just have different perspectives.
Yeah. I think my parents had a very interesting relationship, and their idea of marriage wasn't something that I considered like a marriage in my mind. So I never was interested in like knowing about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That's kind of the best way I could put it.
Yeah. So going back to where you wish to, you know, be financially independent and get to the point where you don't need to ask money from your parents. But why is that a goal for you?
Just because I want to know that, like, it's possible for me to take care of myself. I never want to rely on other people, and I don't really know where that stems from, but I know that I've had that since I was younger. Okay. I've always wanted to make something of myself, and I guess prove myself to me, not to like anybody else, but just growing up, I always thought like I was gonna do something. I always thought I was gonna be a YouTuber. I used to tell people that. I was like, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm not even gonna go to college. I already know, like, I'm gonna become like something, and I don't know why I would say that. I don't know what was going on. This is just how I felt. So I always knew I was going to be doing something off the wall, but I never knew what it was. And I wanted to be able to take care of myself. And if somebody one day was like, you're not going to be able to do that, I wanted to be able to do that and also be able to support myself fully and buy them stuff and do some stuff, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just kind of, it's always been like that. And I just know now with streaming, me getting into like that full-time mentality and like kind of transitioning into that it's very interesting because I don't rely on anybody. I accept everybody's love and support with like such thankfulness and gratitude. And I always know, like, I have a faith in God. Like that's how my whole life stems from, just trusting. And so I know I told people in chat, and I just know money is not where my head's at. Like I want to take care of myself, support myself, be able to do all of that. But my everyday goal isn't to get a lot of money. Like that's not my goal. I know that will come, and I trust that God will provide people in my life to be able to help me do this as a job and as a living, if that's what it's supposed to be like, if that's how it's supposed to happen. But I also know that my main goal every day is to make somebody smile, even if it's just one person, make somebody laugh, make somebody else's day, put myself in a position to be there for other people and not be more giving to others, and being able to receive is just a gift, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Why do you want to be that role model, though?
Well, I don't know. I think I've been on both sides where it's like you can just take a lot and you feel empty still. And when you give, it's the most freeing feeling, and it's the most like it's how I feel filled. Like it's how I feel fulfilled. Like I don't want to bring this up, but you know how there's millionaires out there that end up killing themselves, and they're sad, and it's not money. It's not that. Yes, it is something that really helps grow and sustain, and money is important, but the concept of money is being able to give and get. It makes everything just, it will happen. Like that's what I'm saying. I never worry about it. I just know that letting myself be in a position to be there for other people, to give to other people with the wisdom that I've had growing up, the things I've been through, whatever that may be, every life event, I accept, and I love that I suffered through it, because now I'm in a position to help other people that are suffering through maybe the same issues. I've learned, I've had growth. I'm able to now be used as a vessel to like help others through those life situations. So it's just about giving what you can give. If it's wisdom, if it's advice, if it's a smile, if it's a laugh, if it's, hey guys, we're not gonna have a down day, let me turn on my music right now, let's get up and dance, because we're gonna dance away those worries. We're not gonna worry about it. Like whatever I can give, I'm gonna give, as whatever it is. I don't know why I want to be like that, other than I just want to live every day to love. That's my goal. If I don't love someone that day, I didn't succeed, even if it was myself. Like if I take a self-care day and I love myself, and that's still succeeding in some way for me, you know?
For the people that are not used to self-love, what is something that some advice that you can give to those that are not used to that kind of self-love?
So I think something that a lot of people don't understand is if you're not in a position, if you don't love yourself first, you're not going to be in a position to love anybody else. And that's something that it takes a long time to kind of realize. And there's no way to explain how to self-love. It's not taking a bath and doing a bath bomb. Like that could be a form of it for you. Like that could be relaxing, but it's whatever your heart desires, and you have to find that over time, what fulfills you, what satisfies you fully. For that's the Lord. Like I know I'm fully happy and satisfied when my presence, and I put my time into that. That makes me a better person. That makes me be able to feel alive and feel like I'm pursuing my passion. And like I said, everybody, and I'm very open about my faith on my channel and everywhere. That's just because it's who I am. But you never have to believe to belong in my channel. I'm never pushing anybody. I've never pushed anyone to believe anything. I share my own thoughts, my own experiences, everything like that. I will never and have never pushed anybody to feel any certain way. It's just a way I take care of myself. So I'm always open to share that. Like if people want to share about how they take care of their self, that's perfectly cool with me too. Like I'm actually open to that. I want people to be able to talk about whatever on my channel. With that being said, again, people do take care of themselves differently. I think you do learn that over time. And the way I do it might be different and look different to other people, but you know, they'll at least see, hey, how are you so happy every day? Or where do you get that from? And I'm able to say, well, this is where I get it from. This is how I get it. And people that have never experienced that and don't know that, like I will say I've had people, I get messages from people often. Like I'll share a story right now that is really like close to my heart. There's a girl that it's in my channel, and her mom had like breast cancer, and she, I mean, she was like really just out of tune with like everything and hurt and pain, felt pain and everything. And she kind of just said, I lifted her out of that into a spiritual connection with God that really like saved her heart and brought her back into a place that made her happy. And that literally just makes me feel so happy. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but I feel like people getting saved from like God's love is so crazy to me. And stories, that's just one, but like stories that I hear from other people, it's crazy what like life can look like if you just stop caring what people feel like think about you. If this is how I feel, I'm going to share it. If it saves somebody, if it makes them feel happy, then that's all I want. And I never want to feel uncomfortable about feeling that way. Like if somebody truly does not feel that, that is so okay. And that's so accepted. But you'll see over time, like if that's something you're just tired of feeling the way you're feeling, and it's something you try out and you feel your soul being like almost resuscitated, like that's just crazy. You never know what your actions can do. And I want to make sure I'm in a position to show God's love to everybody every single day. So that's literally my goal every day.
Yeah. So you speak about how you want to be the change for others, but what was a life event that happened with you that helped, that was a turning point for you to be that role model for others?
Well, I think everyone kind of grows up in a family. There's a lot of I'm saying most because every family is broken in a sense, but most families are broken. Like the people never talk about it. I grew up in a very interesting family. Like I said, everyone was kind of like their own person, their own self. We didn't really know how to communicate well. There was a lot of issues with communication. There was a lot of issues with neglect. I feel like just the lack of love, and it never felt like a family. So I desire that family, and I desire that true, real love from, I don't think it has to be blood. I never felt that way. I think I was born into this family for a reason. And I think me being in the broken family I was in helped me be able to grow into the person that I am. It's helped me realize, hey, there's a lot of other people out there too that have broken families. Like, let's be a family together that actually has a place we can go every day and experience real, true love and genuine connections and care for each other. So I always say every single time somebody asks me, like, if followers are important to me or whatever, that's business side of it. My main goal is I'm growing a family. I'm not growing a following. And I remind myself that every day, because in my channel, I want to greet somebody. I want them to feel welcome. I want them to feel home. Like if they click on my channel, I want them to feel like they're at home, connected, cared for, loved, everything like that, welcomed. And I think my experience growing up, just being in a family that was kind of imperfect in my eyes, it made me want to have a perfect bond between other humans that desire that as well.
Has it really been like that all your life though?
It really has. Since I was 12, when I was 12 years old, that's when I found the love of God, because my mom is really, really strong in her faith. My dad and my brother aren't the same way as my mom, and I've always seen myself in my mom. Me and her are a lot alike. We clash a lot because we are so much alike.
Yeah.
But she has the faith that I've always desired, and that's kind of what her faith kind of brought me into my own and my own connection. And since I was 12, I've fought for that connection to stay there, because I knew it was something special, and I knew that was where my joy came from. And I knew if I could hold on to that every single day and fight for that relationship with God, I could literally be something in this world and be something for other people and be used as a light in people's like darkness. And that's what I feel like I am to some people, is a light in the darkness. Like when I share experiences and stories and testimonies, and people in the chat experience like what they've experienced, and my stream, and it's not even my stream, it's my channel, but it's our stream. It's the Smiles family stream. It's our stream.
Yeah.
It would be nothing without our family. It would be nothing. It would literally just be sitting here talking to a screen. It's everybody that makes it something. And it's just so important to me that I don't lose that. So however I got in this position, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to not let myself like forget why and how I got here. It doesn't matter if I blow up one day and I end up with like 1 million followers every single day. If I'm not taking the time to literally like read my Bible, read my stuff, do whatever I have to do, get myself love to be the person I have to be on stream, I failed, like in my opinion.
What are some of the goals for your brand while you're streaming?
So is this my short term or long term?
We'll get into long term later, but what's something that really stands out for you the most right now when I ask that question?
I guess just consistency. Like my biggest goal is consistency. I feel like I have been pretty inconsistent with the kind of growth I want, with streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like when I do find that consistency and, I'm out of work right now, I'm really praying that I can have that consistent schedule that I'm desiring so I can actually see the growth in return. That is seriously like my only short-term goal, because I'm trying not to like put too many goals. I'm trying to juggle everything that I have coming at me as best as possible while staying consistent and while keeping time for myself. Also, short-term goal would be make sure I find a balance, like leaving my house and going on a bike ride or going on a run or going to play tennis. Doing something active helps me, and that's important as well. So, everything, like these are literally just the shortest goals, but also like even just making sure the balance of like eating healthy and getting sleep, and those are just normal goals, but they don't happen that often. So those are short-term goals that I want to like put into like streaming, making sure that I'm doing stuff to take care of myself, because ultimately if you do not take care of yourself, it doesn't matter how much you desire something, you can get on stream every single day, and if you're like a bum, just like I streamed for 12 hours today and I'm not growing and I could stream 1 hour and hit all of our goals and then just chill the rest of the stream and still like be like active and as much as possible. But I don't know how to explain that.
Oh, I mean, no, you're explaining it well.
People don't get that. Like, you can't just go live. Like, I hate when people say, just go live. Okay, I go live all the time, but I took time before I pressed the button to do the things that got me in the right mindset. You don't just go live. Like,
yeah.
I feel like when people say that, they might be talking about the fear. You just press the button, But you need to enter into it without fear. Like that fear might be like deep in your soul, but you find a way to fight that. You find a way to say, like, in my mind, I say like perfect love casts out all fear. Like perfect love casts out all fear. I know that my stream, we have like perfect love for each other. It's gonna always be there. We have constant love, and it's just every single time I go live. So that's what I start thinking of whenever I start thinking of fearing people won't show up, or fearing what if I fail, or all of the stuff that a normal streamer goes through. I start reminding myself, if I don't have confidence, people won't see confidence and people won't want to stay. So it's a lot more than just going live.
Of course.
I think there's so much more into it than people really know.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, we all learn differently too. So when somebody does get that freaking advice, just go live. It don't work like that. Yeah. But as you go along, people will learn. It's like, oh shit, it's a lot more than just pressing that button.
Oh yeah. People definitely, they'll come to find out, wow, this is not what I thought.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's interesting seeing how many, like, people start streaming, right? But it's like, okay, who are the ones that stay after a year, even after 2 years?
Yep.
Like, what are you gonna do if you don't get partnered after 2 years? You still gonna keep doing it? Like,
hey, well, I didn't get partnered after a year.
There you go. And that's actually,
I got denied 4 times.
And that's normal. See what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people get denied like that, but it's just That's great that you shared that, because it really shows, like, hey, this is what you're getting into. You think you just because you hit the bare minimum and you apply, that doesn't mean you're going to get partnered.
Oh yeah.
So
100%.
For sure.
You fight for, if you believe in yourself enough, you won't give up. But my coach always tells me this. I was talking to you about this earlier, but I do like MMA type stuff, all that, boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my coach is really, he's like, he inspires me a lot. But he tells me this a lot. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. Like, it's good to get knocked down, because the fight getting back up is what makes you stronger and what matters most. So I honestly, I actually love that I got denied 4 times, because it's actually funny, because when I actually finally got the partnership, I was top 20 sub count my first month partnered. I was above streamers that have hundreds of thousands of followers. Like,
funny how it does
we
that.
literally, and that's why I'm saying like, I'm growing a family, not a following. My follower count is, we acknowledge that and we appreciate that, but we look at it more of like, those people that are there is amazing, because we're at 37,000 followers and we have crazy sub numbers. If we had 100,000 followers with that quality of people, I mean, just imagine what we could be doing there, and imagine what it's going to be like, what it's going to be like. So I don't know. I think it kind of just, not slapped Mixer in the face. I don't mean to say it like that, but I think it just woke him up like, what were we missing out on with this girl? Like, she's hitting these crazy numbers and she's like, we should have reevaluated or whatever. But I think it's just funny now that if I would have gotten partnered the first time that I applied, we might not have the same experience. So, and I do truly believe every single thing in life happens for a reason. I'm glad that I got denied that many times, because if I didn't, then I don't know for sure if I would have kept going. Like, what if I got partnered the first time and then I was like, oh, like, it's just different knowing that my soul really is in the right place after getting denied 4 times and still not giving up, because getting denied is one of a human being's hardest things to go through. Mm-hmm. If that's in a relationship, if that's in a family, just being not wanted, like that feeling of being not wanted. As human beings, we desire to be wanted, loved, cared for, all of that. If people don't see something in us that we see, like if Mixer didn't think I was ready or thought I wasn't good enough, whatever it was, they didn't see what I saw. They didn't see what all these other people that were telling me I was going to get it saw. And it was hard, but I knew that eventually what I know to be true about myself was going to be exposed. And now we have people like yesterday, Jessica Blevins came through the stream. She donated Ember. She hung out. She even tweeted about how I have a lot of energy, amazing streamer. Go check me out. Like, that's so crazy to me that she even feels that way. And I mean, if I would have just given up, I know that we're something special and this stream is going somewhere, and I'm not going to give up on something special when I know it's there. I'm a fighter. I fight for what I love. I fight for what I believe in, and I'm not going to give up. That's how it is, you know?
Yeah, somebody in the chat said maybe Warzone with Ninja sometime soon.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Oh my gosh, I wish. Ninja hosted me once before, but my internet is really bad where I live, and I got 15 minutes with the host and then it crashed. So that was upsetting, but I know. In 15 minutes, I think we had from Ninja's community, like 600 people followed in like 15 minutes. That's insane still. Like, that's so crazy. Hopefully it will happen again. I'm hoping that there'll be an opportunity again. I'm looking forward to hopefully trying to getting new Wi-Fi or something like that to help with my stream. That was another thing. People struggle with
internet,
like putting issues in the way. I kind of fight through that. Like my stream crashes like most days, literally most days. I have to start over fresh like every single day most of the time. Like if I'm lucky, there's a good day where it doesn't. But I will have like a lot of hosts that day. I'll have a lot of we'll have a lot of views. We'll hold good views, and then it crashes, and then I have to literally restart back all the way over. And that's another thing I was so proud of myself about. I was like, I literally pushed through a lot of obstacles, and I don't know. I really think that if I didn't want to do this, there would have been enough things that got thrown at me to where if it's something I didn't want, I would have given up by now.
Facts. How'd you even get into streaming anyway?
So, my best friend, and he still streams on the platform, but Forrest Dump, he started streaming and we were super close. So he started streaming, and I remember us getting so excited about him like getting 2 viewers. I remember we'd be over there and he'd be playing a game, and we'd just be sitting there on the camera and we're like, oh my gosh, there's another one in the chat. There's 2 people. And when it would grow, like it would be like 5 people. We were like, there are 5 people in the universe that are deciding to watch you. Like, isn't that crazy? And we just get so hyped about that. And we're making people like laugh, like a couple of people, and we thought that was the craziest thing. And I mean, you know, he had 0 viewers, and then we just kept constantly seeing him grow. And I was never into video games other than Animal Crossings when I was a kid. Nintendo DS was my thing. Animal Crossings, Nintendogs, me and my brother.
Nintendogs. Oh my God.
Yeah, Nintendo. Like that was my kind of game. And then like Mario Party, Mario Kart, like the Switch. Sometimes we play Zelda. Most of the games I played were with my brother because he was like into gaming growing up, but I never was. I was not like that. Like I said, I was a super active kid. I was a cheerleader, so my free time I'd be flipping in the backyard. I wouldn't be inside playing video games. I never thought this would be my job. It's just crazy how things work. But yeah, again, so he started having a lot of growth. We started thinking, wow, like this is really crazy. Like this could be something. Like you could be like he really loves Tim the Tap Man. We were like, you could be Tim the Tap Man one day. Like, you never know. Like, let's just keep praying for this to go somewhere. Let's just keep praying that something takes off and it happens. So he started streaming, and it started becoming a lot more successful. And I was like, why don't I start streaming? I don't have an Xbox. I don't have anything. He bought me an Xbox, and I had like a TV screen. It was sitting literally right here. It was like a 64-inch, like it was like a really old TV screen. It was huge. I literally connected my, like whatever my what was it? I think it's called the Xbox Connect, and that's like had a camera on it. I put that up, and I had the Xbox, and I opened my laptop to read chat or whatever. I have to find a picture of it. I actually, like, it was on this table. It was so ghetto. Like it was terrible. But I have, oh my gosh.
Yeah, just flashbacks, right?
On this huge, I sat this close to. I was like this. I was like, oh, he's in this corner. Oh, he's over here. Like, it was so unpractical the way that I streamed. But there was like a couple people that even with my terrible quality internet, my terrible quality stream, that believed in me enough to support me financially to be able to switch from that Xbox within a couple months to get a PC and to get all this stuff. And it happened so fast. It was like crazy how fast it happened. I wasn't streaming consistently. So like when I first started, it was literally just every now and again, I'd probably stream for like an hour or 2. And I was still in school at this point. So I was in college. I, had so much time. I didn't have enough time to be streaming. I was studying or in class or whatever and doing my extracurricular activities and sports or whatever. So streaming wasn't important to me like it is now. I thought of it more as a hobby on the side. And so now I'm thinking like, this isn't going to be a thing, but these people kept believing in me. And I would get these messages like, you made me my day. You made me so happy. Like, and like just these long messages of people that I really made an impact and changed their day within like 30 minutes.
Crazy, huh?
I did that. Like, what if I could be doing that for like a lot of other people? Or what if this could be a thing? And I kept getting all these ideas, and it just, I don't know, it just kept feeling like made me really happy. So I was like, I'll keep trying and doing as much as I can. So I was very, very, very inconsistent for months until I decided like I'm getting the PC, I'm going all in, switched to mouse and keyboard. It's been about, since not this past summer, but the last this past summer is when I started being super consistent, streaming like full time. And I was actually on a different platform for a couple months and started back on Mixer in August, like full time. So I don't know if you ever heard of it, but have you ever heard of You Now?
No.
I got asked to stream on there for a couple months. So I did that. And after doing that, I realized like my family's Mixer, obviously, and I wanted to continue to push on Mixer and be consistent there.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, I switched, and I've already been denied, I think twice at this point. So then I applied again after a couple months, got denied. And then my last time applying, I got denied. And then I got an email back because I fought for I don't know. Actually, I've never shared this part. Okay, so I actually fought for my denial. I like emailed them back and I was like, look, you're missing out on an awesome community. We need to do some reevaluating. I don't know what I need to do to prove that we've got what it takes, but I think our community deserves a chance. I really just kind of like fighting for us because I don't know what else to do at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that has anything to do with it. I don't know. All I'm saying is I got an email back the next day. It wasn't from the same person I emailed, but it was saying, hey, we're going to reevaluate your channel and give your channel a second look. And literally they took one day. And then the next day after that, we got the partnership. So I don't know what it had to do with that. I don't know if God put his hand in that situation. It was like, we'll just rearrange some things. I was fighting for it. I knew this is what I wanted and made it work. But here we are being like crazy successful 3 months into streaming as a partner. I'm just super grateful. And like I said,
you just got partnered 3 months ago?
Yeah, I got partnered in January.
Congrats. Wow. Look at you coming out here in the world, just doing some things.
Some things.
Congrats on that, though. That's awesome. So I noticed when I drop into your streams every now and then, it's always a good time, full of energy. Have you always had that energy, like straight from the beginning, or?
Oh, yeah. So being a cheerleader for 10 years, I've always been super peppy, and I was the one on the team that like they look to me to hype them up. Like if they're
the hype girl
having a bad day, like I'm gonna go in there and hype them up. Like we're not having a bad day. That's just been that's just been who I am. I think God created me to be a person to just like bring light into situations. I'm like, we are not having a bad day. I want to have a good day. There's limited time on this earth. There's limited hours. Our minutes and our seconds and our breaths are not ever promised. So why are we deciding to, back to the perception thing, like why are we deciding to perceive things in such a negative way? Like, let's bring the light situations. All right, we failed at a competition. Well, here's all the things that we learned. Let's get better and let's start now. Let's put a smile on our face. Like, get up off the ground. Let's go. Like, where's like, I was the one in the back of the stage, like pepping everybody up. Like, heck no, we're not gonna have fear. We can go out there, do our best. And that's literally, honestly, what I bring into the stream every day too. I didn't actually realize that until you brought it up, but I think it's from cheerleading, like 10 years of me putting my efforts into building other people up is how I kind of transitioned to doing that into my own stream. And then there really is times where I'm exhausted and I'm like, screw that. We're getting up. We're about to dance. I'm not doing this. Like, and I feel empowered. I feel like I have this burst of energy that I was not going to have that whole stream. And now there are times we have pretty chill streams. I'm like, look, we're going to lay back. I've been streaming for 5 hours. I'm kind of chill today. Let's play some Animal Crossings, whatever. And we're going to be chill and whatnot. But for the most part, I do try to bring a couple hours of like full, intense energy to pour into others. That is a goal of mine. Most of the time it's just drinking water. Sometimes I'm having coffee, like right now. I'm drinking coffee, so you see me being extra peppy. That might be why. But
that caffeine
I'm not
kicking in.
Anything who I am as a person.
That's dope, man. So what games do you usually play though?
So I built my community around Fortnite. That's the game I started streaming with, and I definitely have the most hours in that game. I play COD on occasion. I've probably streamed COD maybe 30 times at the most. for like an hour or two, sometimes 5. It depends. I'm not huge into COD because I'm not good, but I do enjoy it. Usually at night. Like I enjoy COD at night. I enjoy like Fortnite in the day. And now that Animal Crossing just came out, I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan. Like I was telling you earlier, Animal Crossing is the game I grew up on. It's literally my heart. I love that game. It makes me so happy. And so I play that kind of like when we're in chill down mode. And it's been really fun. We've still been able to hit our goals and our count goals and our every goal, just being happy and chilling in the stream every day. So, you know, I think it's definitely hard moving to a different game, but that's why I'm like kind of deciding I'm going to start with Fortnite and then transition into Animal Crossing at like the end of the stream. So it's more like a calm chill down, and then we'll go raid somebody, you know.
What do you mean it's hard to go to switch to different game?
Well, just because, you know, your community is so comfortable. That's the best word you can put it. Like change is really difficult for some people, and people don't always react to it normally. Like, okay, we're used to watching her play this. We're used to playing with her in this game. We know how she is with this game. It feels normal. It feels natural. Me playing, like, people look at it as like a kid game. It might be hard. It might be harder to watch me play that game. But like a lot of people will tell me I'm not watching me for the game. That's why it's a little bit easier for me to know that, okay, they're really not watching for the game. They're just watching me for me, which makes me really happy. I'm glad that that's how people feel, because I'm not good at any game. I want it to just be me and not connection with them. So, but I guess the biggest reason that I say that is just because people do get uncomfortable sometimes with change, and me switching games like that might, you know, we might lose some growth and like, as in like view count or whatever you might want to look at it. View count isn't a huge thing for me, other than the fact that if you do hold those high views, you do get in a position to be seen by others. And if you're seen by others, you can meet new people and we can grow our family and whatnot. So, of course, I do keep them separate, but on the business side of things, this is a business for me, as well as like, this is going to be my livelihood. I need to have this kind of mindset and also be smart about it. So, you know, we try to hit goals of follower counts just to keep growing. And I will say this, like, follower count is important for companies you want to be sponsored with and stuff like that, because they'll see that you have all of these subs and you have all of this support, but they look at that number, and it really just drives me crazy because they look at the numbers so much. Like, I have, like, we were trying to like explain earlier, like, we have a lot more actual supporters that sub versus like streams that have 5 times as many followers as me. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's just so hard to get that around people's heads.
It's just, yeah, they don't it's unfortunate. A lot of these companies, they value more numbers than the value of I guess like the quality audience. Like,
yes, the loyalty, they do not regard that at all. So coming from a business side of stuff, me wanting to grow and I have like 5 companies in mind off the back I want to get partnered with. Like, I'm not going to do that unless I start, you know, reaching those numbers. And at that point, you know, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm not going to be that streamer that settles for companies that will take them in. I'm reaching for like the companies that I want and the companies that I actually believe in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, perfect sense. I
don't just grab. I mean, there's people that will message me like, oh, do you want to be an ambassador for this, or you want to do this, or do you want me to sponsor this or whatever? And I'm like, no.
I got my own plans.
Like, we're waiting. Like, bigger things are to come, you know.
That's crazy. Oh man. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to your career. It looks like it's a lot of exciting things, and like your brand is actually impressive, actually, because from when you told me you were only partnered 3 months ago. This is you in 3 months. Imagine you a year from now.
Yeah, we got big things coming, I'm telling you.
Anything you can share?
Not as in like, no, just my future mindset.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm really growing as a person every day. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting more centered, and I just know like that the future of what I know what the Smiles family is capable of now. I just know us bringing and continuing to grow our family. I just like in my heart and soul, I just know. I literally feel like I'm going to be hanging out and be like in the same league as like 100 Thieves. Of course, I'm manifesting this. Like, I want to say these things. I want to believe these things. So one day, you never know what can happen. Literally never know.
We watching though. We watching.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
one day at a time.
One day, of course. Okay, so we did your character creation. Got to get to know you about a little bit more. Now let's go on to the next segment where we set your attributes. So with every character that you create, there's always a set of attributes. So I'm going to name off a few characteristic traits, and you rate yourself from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. Cool?
Okay.
All right. First one's grit.
4.
Took you a while to think about that. Why?
Because I thought on my own, I feel like sometimes I'm weaker, but then I felt like, wait, I can be I don't want to say the highest because I don't want to look at myself like I know that I'm strong. I will come through things, but I don't want to say it's easy. So I don't want to think about it being easy. So I give myself a 4 because with God, like I know I can get through anything. So I have that because of that. But on my own, 2. But it's never perfect. So I honestly probably not going to say 5 for any of these. I'm just letting you know.
We'll see.
Okay, maybe I will.
Yeah, we'll see.
Know. If you say Smiles, I'm like...
Curiosity.
3.
You seem more curious than a 3, though.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't be this far if you weren't curious.
Okay, so
saying.
So for you, curious about what though?
Anything. Just you see something, you're like, ooh. What is that? See, exclusives in chat saying 5. Maybe they're thinking it in a different way you're thinking it.
I think we're thinking about it differently. I think I'm thinking about it as in curious of other people. But if you're thinking about it as in like curious about the future, I don't know. Either way, I feel like I'm in the middle because I'm not really curious about it. I'm not thinking. I'm just trying to live in the moment. I don't want to be. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man.
That's interesting. Wow. You're stumped by curiosity. Are you curious why you're not curious?
I'm curious why I'm not curious. Maybe I am. Maybe I don't know myself as well as I think I do. I don't know what's going on right now.
I don't know what's going on right now. What podcast is this? What is this?
What am I even on? Who am I, man?
All right, next one. Enthusiasm.
Okay, that's 5.
Okay. Why?
That's 5. Why?
I mean, I think you pretty much already explained the whole cheerleading thing.
Yeah, just because I have to be. I literally have to be. I desire to be, so I like make it happen.
Of course. But I mean, how did you even get into cheerleading?
How did I get into cheerleading? I did gymnastics growing up when I was like 3 and stuff like that. And I loved tumbling and I loved flipping. And I would literally be in the house just doing cartwheels. And I was like 5 and Mom was like, okay, you're going to beach. And I was like kind of peppy as a kid too. I would run up to people and be like, it's yay, like today, like just always like happy, you know, kind of like that. So Mom was like, all right, you're doing cheer. And so whenever I found that place, I was like, it was like an all-star cheer gym. I was like, this is my home. It felt right. And I literally like stayed there until they kicked me off the team since I was too old. They're like, you can't legally be on the team anymore. You're like over the age. Like you have to get off.
How come you never pursued it afterwards?
Well, I did look at some schools for in college. I was going to go to Mississippi State in cheer. I never told anybody that. That was something I looked into doing. And also Troy University, which it's like kind of like a smaller school, but 2 schools I actually went to and tried to, or not tried to, but kind of like just scouted out sort of. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel right. Also, I didn't feel called to do that. I'm really in tune with like myself.
Self-awareness.
For the most part. And if it doesn't feel 100%, I just back off. And I think an opportunity will happen if it's supposed to happen, if it's supposed to be like that. And I just never felt it. I never felt right about that. As well as I was not ready for like full college. I'm a very smart person. I don't like saying that I'm not, but I'm not school smart. I'm not the school smarty, if that makes sense. I never made like a C. I was like an A/B student. I was good at school when I applied myself. I wasn't like a bad student or by any means. I just wasn't book smart. I feel like I was more like an intellectual as like person. Like I was a people person. So, you know, stuff like ethics and stuff, I was like, I loved that. I loved like anything like that in college, but I was never into science. Like if I didn't enjoy it, I just couldn't get into it. And it was hard for me to be successful, and it didn't come easily. So school never came easily to me. I'll just put it that way. So that being said, I wasn't trying to jump into a big university. I wanted to go to like a smaller community college, and then if it felt right, transfer. So that's exactly what I did. Plus it's cheaper and the smart route.
Definitely.
You know, I'm paying for it. So I went and did that. I don't have any student loans. We're all good there. Paid all my stuff. That's what I was saying. Like a hard worker. Like I took care of that. Like we're good. But I decided not to transfer to Auburn actually this past semester. This is the semester I decided to go full time into just working and streaming and to see what happened. Mm-hmm. So I changed my major about 5 or 6 times.
Damn.
Like,
okay.
I literally didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, it was anywhere from like, I'm just going to throw a few out. I mean, it was like public relations. It was a nutritionist. It was psychiatry. It was like personal training. It was just a bunch of random stuff. And it was like fashion merchandise. There was like so much stuff that I wanted to do and incorporate into my life. But I literally thought about every single job. And I thought, I'm going to wake up and not like my job. I just knew it. I was like, if I did this route, I'm going to wake up and not like my job, because those are kind of like fleeting things. Like I grow out of it. Like I was talking about, I'm really into nutrition, but I was into it for like 16 months, like hardcore. That would have to be something I'm into all the time. And I still apply things. I still know a lot about it, but it's not something I'm head over heels in love with. Mm-hmm. And that same goes with like fashion. So I'm literally wearing like a gym short. It's like, I don't want to have like these labels of like being this way. I just want to incorporate all of it. I'm just blessed by streaming, because this is a job that I wake up every day and I love doing it. And I cannot picture myself doing anything else. So me making the choice to not transfer to Auburn and go to a university, I have no doubts. I've never thought one time I made the wrong choice. If this doesn't work out, I could still go back to college always if I found something I desired to do. But instead, I started my own videography business. I'm working at the boutique, kept streaming. So there's just so many things I could do without having to go to college. And I was a believer that I never had to go to college. I thought you could everybody that in my life that made something of themselves never went to college. My mom, my dad, the lady that opens the boutique, her name is Maya. I look up to her a lot. Shane, my coach, like just so many people that never went to college. The only person I knew that went to college was my sister, and she does what she does, accounting. Like that was just whatever. Her husband never went. My bosses, they both went to college and they wasted all their money because they said, I don't use my degree, just started boutique. Like I wasted probably like 50 grand. I was like, well, yeah. I'm paying for my college. So if I were to go to Auburn, I would have done a couple semesters there, lost 80 grand or be 80 grand in debt, been paying that off every month. Instead, I'm going to pursue what I love, wake up every single day, pursuing what I love, do my best at it. And if it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not, a path in life will be open for me and I'm going to be fine. Like I don't have any fear in that, you know?
Of course. Well, shit. Congrats on your intuition. That's actually, there's something I want to get on, is that a lot of people do things and they wake up and they hate it. That's so sad to see that. So
it's so sad.
what is your, I guess, like, what's your advice to those that are kind of stuck in that scenario?
I would say you really need to evaluate yourself and decide if you're the kind of person that we were talking about grit. If you have that to a level of, I'll force myself to go to this job every single day, no matter what. Like it's fine. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I don't know. If you gotta evaluate your level of fear. Like if you're fearful of that happening, you're gonna make the changes to make sure that you don't end up like that. Now we're talking about streaming. I'm a streamer, but that doesn't just mean that. Like that could be any kind of job. If you're scared of starting your own business, but you want to be your own boss, you're like, well, I want to, I don't know. That the fear of I don't know is a choice that you have to let go of if you ever want to experience stuff in life. I use this example because it's really easy to understand with like relationships, like with like love and stuff like that. If you never open yourself up and allow yourself to love, you'll never experience love.
Facts.
And even if it goes away, then that's okay because you were able to feel those feelings. If you never, that's a really easy concept for people to understand. But I think that goes for a lot of other things in life, even if that's starting a job or starting your own business. If you're fearful of doing that and you never even just go into it, you'll never experience that. You'll never see growth in yourself that you thought was impossible. You'll learn so much. And again, it could be successful. Like not everybody could be a streamer. Not everybody can own their own business. It's just not for everybody, but you'll know, like it's not going to be like, oh, it's going to get this message and you'll just be like, oh, this is it. But you'll fight for it enough if you want it. Like, that's just like it. Like I was talking about earlier, things were thrown at me constantly. And when you start a business, like I was reading a book, it's called I'm a Bad ASS. Like that's the name of the book. And
like you are a badass. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the book, it talks about like this guy wanted to start his own business and literally every single thing went wrong. And that's how he knew he was doing it right. Because he literally every single thing went wrong possible. Like whether it was like flooring or tiling or whatever, trying to set all this stuff up. Even a Mack truck like ran into his store and completely like shattered everything. He had to like restart it. And he knew he wanted to do this so bad. He continued, he worked on the side, continued to grow to make it happen. And eventually like his store became super successful and it became what he needed it to be. Through that, he had growth, he had learning. It's just that grit. Like if you have it enough for what you love to do, then it's possible. So my best advice is figuring out like if something you deciding whether it's something that's worth fighting for or not for you. Like that's really basically the gist of it. If you think it's worth fighting for, you're not going to give up on it. I do not think any other job other than streaming and social interacting, and I literally feel like this is what I was put on earth for, is that showing that love that I have inside me. That is what my purpose is. That as well, like people could feel that about anything in their life. If it's, I don't know. It's hard to kind of like say that one. I don't know. That one's very hard because I feel like a lot of people think that they're the exception, if that makes sense. Not everyone is the exception. It can't just be like, well, I heard this one girl didn't go to college and it worked out for her. I'm not going to go. No. Like you go to college. I never tell anybody, I'm like, you should go to college. You should try it out. See if it's for you. I found that it wasn't for me, but I went through it and I tried and I figured it out, and you will figure it out, but go through the steps that you think you need to do. Whatever feels right will feel right. Just go with the flow. About it.
Go with the flow. Wise words from Jenny Smiles.
Go with the flow. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt now.
Integrity.
I would say a 5. I know the person I am. I know my heart, and I'm not wavering that ever. So every single time I reply to somebody, talk to somebody, actions, I always think of me. I literally think of me being in a room with everybody I love, everyone that respects me. I would literally never do anything to change that or I guess put that in jeopardy. So I try to act in a way that like I was in a room full of people that love me. I would like that's seriously how I feel like I always am.
You ever dove into the I guess you could say the sense of law of attraction? Never heard of that? Law of attraction?
No, I have. I'm sorry. I was trying to see it in the way that you were thinking of. Wait, can you explain that a little bit more? What do you mean?
A good way is like you could hold it in your head, you could hold it in your hand. You only have what you see. Yeah. You can't be what you can't see, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
yeah. 100%.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that you're doing right now. Do you have a vision board, by the way? You know what a vision board is?
Yes, I don't have one. I don't have a vision board, but I have a Pinterest board. And it's
2020, there you go.
I like.
The internet vision board is a Pinterest board.
Yes, it is.
Damn. All right, next one. Patience.
I'm gonna give myself like a 4.75 or a 3.75, 4, probably a 4. I know that I'm really patient, and I'm gonna say this in certain circumstances. Also, if I haven't eaten that whole day, my patience level is going to be this is what we call it in my chat. If Jenna's patience is like a 2.5, Jenny's patience is like a 4.5. Jenna is my alter ego when I don't eat and I'm like hangry, basically.
Yeah.
So the patience level is low. But my normal self, I'm pretty patient. I try to listen. I try to understand people's sides of stuff. And I would say I've heard that I'm pretty patient. So I don't know. I guess I kind of want to know what other people think about that. I don't know as much. I want, so it's cool to see your own perspective of yourself, but I never want to think I'm a certain way than I'm actually acting. Like if people think I'm impatient, I would love to actually know this so I can start working to make myself better.
Yeah. Self-decrete. Like, was that constructive criticism?
Yeah. Oh, I love constructive criticism. I used to hate it. I was super stubborn. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I know I'm fine. Now I accept it. I'm like, oh, please tell me, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I gotta be better. Like, I like desire that. People like won't tell me. I'm like, tell me, please tell me what I'm doing wrong. Like, I literally just want to be the best person I can for y'all and everything.
Confidence.
Confidence is probably like probably a 4. In certain circumstances. Again, I'm gonna open up a good bit here. This is the part where I really am actually using past experience to open up a lot. So I come off very confident because I know I'm loved by my Heavenly Father. I know who I am. I just know what I'm capable of. I am strong. I'm independent. I know the person that I am, but sometimes I do doubt. I'm a human being. I have fears. I have doubts. I fight things. I fight battles that nobody knows about. There's a lot of days like this is something like people have. Okay, so I'm gonna open up a little about appearance. When I first started streaming, I have struggled with acne since I was 15, like really bad acne. My skin has gotten so much better just the past like this year, 2020. I have so much confidence and like it's so crazy how, I mean, even just pictures, like I cried myself to sleep every single night. I would cake makeup on every single day just to be able to stream. I would like dim the lighting. Like I'd try to get it perfect just so I would like be able to use my webcam. I was so crippled by like that. Like that was the most crippling thing for me. I didn't like going in public. I didn't like taking pictures of myself, but I love pictures. Like I love pictures. I wanted to like model, but I had all this stuff on my face that I just felt like I was in somebody else's body. I was like, what is this? Like this feels so not like me. I don't know what's going on. And I fought it. I tried so much stuff. I mean, it literally is like making me sad because just thinking about all the things I fought. it seems so like funny, but it was so real for me. I was so scared of what people thought about me. I was so scared to be in front of a camera. I was crippled. I was genuinely crippled by that I didn't vlog. I didn't do anything for years because I was like, I can't be in front of this camera, or it has to be really far away, or all this stuff. And I prayed every single day. I mean, like I made my boyfriend, I made everybody pray. My mom, my dad, people. I was like, pray. Like everyone I believed. I was like, because I just know that it will be fine one day. But I was going through it, and I mean, like, at some point soon, I've been trying to grow confidence. I want to post like before, like what my face looked like, what my skin looked like, because you would literally never believe it. And
should do it.
Like, and after, and how much confidence I've gained and through growing. And I mean, my confidence was so low. Now I feel like I'm glowing. I feel like God's giving me seriously such. I had patience with it for so long, and even though I did go through that, there are so many people that actually do go through it and don't share or really don't talk about it because it's such a deep insecurity that it hurts. It's painful to even think about or talk about because it's literally out of your control. Like that was actually one of the reasons I got into health, is because I was trying to take care of myself, see what foods were maybe causing it, see what issues, whatever. But really, I honestly think that the reason that it's like how it is right now is I just honestly kind of started eating worse. Like nothing really like changed like that side of it. I started using like essential oils on my skin, and that really helped me so much. But even like that combination with me looking in the mirror every day and like telling myself what I tell everyone to say, like, you are awesome, you are worthy, building my own confidence in myself, and just releasing everything, and like literally having to go like this every single day and just be like, all this stuff I'm holding on to, like I let go of it today. I'm not holding on to stress. I'm not holding on to anxiety. I'm not holding on to any of this stuff anymore. And building myself and creating who I want to be. That is seriously, I think the Smiles family seriously gave me a confidence and freed me from like that stress that like held in that showed through my face, you know? I don't know all the details. Skin's a very interesting topic with like how it all can happen and genetics and whatnot, but I think that actually had like a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that is actually, I actually relate completely with you with acne. I struggle with it a lot too. That's why I have my beard. I don't have acne no more, thank God.
Yeah, your skin looks great. You're glowing. Look at you.
Stop. Okay, anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah, and the reason why I do have this beard is because it covers up a lot of the scars that I used to have from popping them so much, and like.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I relate. And then yeah, damn, you're bringing me back. Holy.
I know it's like it literally is like it's detrimental. Like, but it's so crazy because I'm so ready to like help other people with it now too. I really could be such a spokesperson about it. I mean, I literally went through it for 7 years.
Facts,
like bad. Like it was so bad. And like dating was really difficult for me, and it was hard because I was always trying to cover myself up. I was always insecure. I couldn't even like be myself because I was like, just don't look at my face. Like I literally just wanted to cry all the time. Like the girls I'm literally like thinking about how much I really felt this. Like it makes me want to cry because if I really had this confidence that I did then, I'm like, dang, like
who knows?
Because I was around these girls that just were literally like, to me, like perfect. Like nothing was wrong with them. And I was there like hiding. Like I was like hiding, or even when I took pictures, I have this app, I would just like blend out everything. I was like, oh, you know, yeah. I mean, really, I felt fake.
I remember when MySpace came out, I would never take pictures of myself. And if I did, it'd be like a black and gray filter because it would not show. It would not show. So it's just like, your beard.
That's crazy that you went through that. I literally never thought that. Your face is legit. I honestly almost complimented you on your skin, but I thought you thought that might be weird.
Oh, it's not weird. Compliments are good. Like, okay, listen, I noticed that too. Compliments aren't weird. Give people compliments, okay? It's good. No,
I'm super big about compliments, but I notice people's skin because of my own issues. So
Same.
I just didn't want to be like, oh, your skin literally looks so good. You'd be like, my skin? Why not like my hair? Like what? Like,
but that's the thing though, too. Like, like we put in work for our skin, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a routine.
Every
I have a
day.
routine. That's why.
Me too.
It's there. It's because freaking acne. It's like it's like a curse, but a blessing though too. So like it really helps you realize like this is you right here. This is you.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's
now when it sheds away and you're like revealed, you're like, oh my gosh, like it makes you so much more grateful for having it. Like I literally look in the mirror. Some days I break it. I mean, like my skin's not perfect by any means, but to me it is, because from what I came from to now, I literally am like, thank you so much, God, for giving me clear skin today. I'm so happy. I'm grateful. I'll never let that go.
Of course. By the way, what I noticed for me, what made it go away, I stopped drinking milk.
Yeah, dairy is a big thing. Yep. I do like almond milk now. I've been doing almond milk.
I put it in my coffee. It's so good. It is so good. But my beard be hitting different, sir. Bot Harry. Is he part of your community, Bot Harry?
Yes, Bot Harry. He's one of my mods, as well as X and Pavle.
Y'all are awesome. Y'all keeping the hype in here. Nah, bro, the skin is the sexiest organ. Hey, facts. It really is. Yeah, especially if you put tattoos on it too. Oof. That's just the extra sauce.
I have a tattoo.
You do?
I talked about that a couple times on stream. Yeah, it's on my side, like, you know, kind of like right here. So I'm not obviously
of course. But what is it?
It's a rose.
Okay.
I have a story behind it too.
Please do share.
Okay, I'll share it if you insist.
I do insist.
So my mom's mom died when she was 6 years old. Her name was Rosalie. My mom's middle name is Tina Rose, my mom. Crystal Rose is my sister. Madison Rose is my niece. Sydney Rose is my niece. And then there's Jenny Nicole. They don't let me out of the whole group. All the girls in my family, Tina Rose, Crystal Rose, Madison Rose, Sydney Rose, Jenny Nicole. What the heck happened there? I'll tell you what happened. Okay. My sister told my mom whenever she was having me, my mom was like, I want to name her Jenny Rose. Like, how cute is that? Jenny Rose. So cute. My sister was like, no, like I want to name my kids, my girls like Rose. And my mom was like, well, okay. What's a random middle name? We'll just name her. So we named her Jenny Nicole, which was, Jenny Nicole. It's okay.
Not as good as Rose. Yeah, not as good as Rose.
And so whenever I turned 18, I didn't tell anybody I was getting it. Me and my best friend growing up, Anna Grace, we both went and got tattoos that day. We were just having I wanted for like 2 years, but I turned 18. I was like a couple months in. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get this. So I got this tattoo, and it is literally my rose, so I can be connected to all the girls in my family, my grandma, mom, sister, nieces. So I always like to say this is my rose. So
even though it's not on my birth certificates, right here.
Yeah, it's on my body. It's part of me.
That's dope. That's actually really. I love when people actually have tattoos and there's actually a story behind it.
Me too.
Like it's
me
insane.
Too. I really love that.
Such stories. Do you have any? You plan on getting any more?
I actually do. Interesting. So my word for a couple of years, I always have a word. I pick a word every year that I if it's confidence one year, I work on that every day, like whatever it is. My word for like literally the past all 2019 and honestly into 2020 is perseverance. Like that's been my word. I've been holding on to that word, and I want to get that say this is like my ankle. I want to get it like right here, but like my ankle. And the reason I want it there is because like I always think one foot in front of the other, and I connect perseverance with that. And it being on my ankle, like if I ever just like can't take a step, I literally just want to think like you just persevere, like you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So I want to get either the word perseverance or the word persevere, like on my ankle down there, on my ankle.
I don't know why, but that's good. Also, I don't know why, but it reminds me of the story. You ever heard of the story of like two trails on the beach?
Yep, my mom sent me that before.
Yeah, that's exactly what it reminds me of. Like that whole went like, why was there one trail? It's because that's when God was carrying you through your hard times. Like yo, some real stuff.
I know. My mom I think it's called barefoot or something. I don't know. She sent me it was just a long time ago. I was going through something, and she sent that to me. She'll always send me like sweet stuff like that, you know. And if she feels the need, like I need to hear that. She sent me that once before, and my grandma and her, like she she sends my stuff like that too. But it's just super cool because I don't know, dude. Like I've always thought about that. It's so cool that you know that. Like I like that you know that. I know that too. If I share that story, people might not know. And I thought it was kind of like an older tale. Not tale, but like, you know, like an older story. So that's so cool you know that.
Yeah, that's a great story. All right, next one. Silliness.
Definitely a 5.
Y'all see how she smiled and thought about it? She's like, a 5.
I'm definitely a 5. Like I'm an aunt, right? I have a niece or 2 nieces and a nephew.
Okay.
My goal, like when I took care of them, my goal is literally to make them happy. Like I will literally, whenever I would push them on the swing, I remember this one. I would put them on the swing and I'd push them. And whenever they would come back, I'd push them. Whenever they'd come back, I would literally act like they kicked me in the face. I'd fell on the ground. Every time I'd get back up, I'd push them again. And I would literally do that like 100 times. If it made them laugh, like I would just do it. Like I just loved being silly and goofy. And I'm very clumsy. So it just is kind of fun for me. Like I just kind of fall into it on purpose sometimes. And I'm just like going with the flow. But I like making like laughs out of everything and making everything be silly. Cause like, I don't like taking life too seriously sometimes. I know it is something to take seriously, but I think we were made on this earth to smile. And that's why I always tell people don't forget to wear your smile because it's so important.
Yeah, it's free. Spreading happiness is free. All right. Shyness, actually.
Shyness? I think that's... Wait, so 5 being like I'm really shy. Okay, so I think that's like a 1. I don't feel like I'm shy. Well, okay.
Come on, everybody's shy in certain situations.
Like a 3.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. In certain situations, on stream, I'm literally like a negative 100. I have no shyness. I'm gonna.
Of course.
But again, if I'm holding a vlog camera and I'm walking in public, I am very shy. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't like that situation. So it depends on who I'm around, for sure.
Okay, so I can help you out with this. There's this. Okay, so I'm really big into psychology. There's this methodology where it's seek discomfort. Basically, like how it says, I feel like you should start doing that. Start vlogging in your town. Not only that, it'll help with your getting out of your comfort zone, but at the same time, you're also documenting yourself. You're getting out of your comfort zone. And at the same time, you're being an example for other people, viewing you being uncomfortable to seek discomfort to grow.
I know. It literally is like the
just do
most
it.
uncomfortable. I start sweating. Like I'm literally sweating right now thinking about it.
Damn.
Also, I just realized we're both wearing black shirts. This was not planned.
Gang.
Like
gang.
We were like flexing on the black shirts.
Gang.
I love it. But I actually love that. I do tell people, hey, go for it. Just do it. Like da 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 da. I'm a very wise person. I give very good advice. I'm confident about that.
Okay.
Do I take my own advice? Absolutely not. Most of the time, I do take my own advice sometimes. I believe what I say is true, and I want to take my advice so other people really know like I'm telling the truth about what I feel. It's very hard to take your own advice sometimes. It's a lot easier said than done. You heard that phrase before. But definitely going out and doing that is something I would look forward to. Trying again. I've done it before. Like you'll see some videos and vlogs of me being out in public, taking my camera to the gym. I've done workouts at the gym. I've videoed it. People were like, what is she doing? Like, I don't like the thought people think I'm better than them or like I need to video myself and to anything like that. Does that make sense? It is a fear of caring about what other people think. It's something I've struggled with for forever. On Mixer, it literally makes me feel so comfortable. But outside of that, for some reason, even on social media, I care what people think on like Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. I do my best to like not feel that way, but being in this small town is different. It is different. It's harder.
No, I understand. That's why I freaking left my small town because I couldn't stand the mentality. But
yeah, I definitely need to get out eventually.
Texas.
Where are you from?
I'm from Indiana, small and freaking Indiana cornfields.
Indiana.
Yeah, but I moved down to Texas because I joined the military. I'm an Army vet, and then I came here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I came here, and I said, no snow, which is a plus, and I just love the culture here. It's like how you said, it's definitely Austin. Like, people are weird in Austin, so then you could be as weird as you want and it's considered normal. So it's
Yeah,
like, you
like,
could literally have that camera and you'd be like, "Sa," and then nobody would just,
guys?
yeah, and people would just, you can even be like this. You could walk up to random people like, "What's up?" and they'd just be like,
No, seriously, one of the reasons I really gotta move is because right now I have a donation goal set up for an IRL streaming like thing, like Ice, Ice Poseidon.
Yeah,
you know who that is. Okay, I'm not like a fan of him or anything. I think I watched him once when some of my DK family was on their show.
mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cool, and I was like engaged. I was like, dude, this is so awesome. I need that because I tried to do IRL streaming when I went to the beach and everything like that, and it didn't really work out that well when I was outside of like Wi-Fi. But having that set up would literally like have so much opportunity. I could go on a hike and I could literally be streaming it and get to the top and just have conversations with people and just talk and like, how freaking dope would that be? And even just going to get coffee, I could just be streaming it or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I'm like, all right, I want this set up. I want to do this, but am I going to do it in a small town? I'm definitely going to have to like push myself to do that here.
Do it.
And it would just come a lot more naturally if I was somewhere else. With that being said, is that just a thought? Am I thinking, is it actually going to be easier being somewhere else doing it? Or do I actually need to just get out of my comfort zone and do it here so that it's easy anywhere? Because I feel like I'm going to just think that sometimes I think things are going to be easy and they end up I might still have like a struggle with caring about what people think anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that as an excuse, and I never want to hinder myself or use that as an excuse. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfect sense.
I think it's good that you're pushing me to just get out of my comfort zone because I think you're right. I need someone to just push me to go do that.
I know I'm right, by the way.
Yeah, you are.
You need to just do it. But like, I'm not saying, there's another thing to where it's like, there's this meter, right? It's like, if it's too easy, you'll get bored. If it's too stressful, you'll create that fear. I'm not saying you're scared. So the reason why I bring this up is like, small town, yeah, but try to start somewhere where it's like, okay, it's a little awkward, but at the same time, I can deal with it. Little baby step. I'm not saying go through the grocery store and put the fucking camera on your shopping cart and just be like, "Hey y'all, what's up?"
I literally did that. Oh my god, did you just say that? I literally have done that before.
For real?
I've done that before.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know if that's a good first start. But fuck it. I mean, you did it.
No, this was me trying to take a big step. I literally put it on the grocery store. I was kind of hiding it, but like I would talk to the camera when I was in aisles and stuff. It's on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Like you can see it. It's there. It was whenever Betts, which his name's Betts, but Forrest Dump, he hit 50,000 followers, and I wanted to like help him celebrate that. I thought that was an awesome milestone. So I went to like bake a cake and like do all this stuff. And I remember I put it in the shopping cart. I was like walking around trying to find the cake stuff and videoing all of it. It was fun. I was so proud of myself for doing that. I felt accomplished, but it was again super awkward and very uncomfortable. But I do put myself out there and push myself to do different stuff. So I've done it before. It's just I know that it's uncomfortable, and I sometimes want to keep myself from being uncomfortable just to be content. And I know that that's not always the right thing to do, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, I feel that. Okay. Ooh, forgiveness.
I think I'm a very forgiving person. I would say 5.
But what's the limit though?
So I never want to be a person that never stops forgiving. I will always forgive anything that's ever done. The difference between what people might think of my forgiveness is my forgiveness is limitless. Like I will always forgive. Now, will I choose to continue having that person in my life, or will my actions be different towards that person? 100%, because not that I'm holding on to like the past, what they've done, but I'm still going to remember what has happened and either use that for growth. And if I don't see change in that person, then I'm no longer going to put my energy into that situation, that person, whatever it may be. I will always forgive. I'm not saying I'm gonna forget all that, but I think like I'm definitely gonna never stop forgiving people I look at it as like God's forgiven us continuously. He always does. And he loves us anyway. And I want to show that. I literally want to be more like Jesus. I want to forgive people, love people, be kind. Again, if it's going to hinder my ability to like love other people, like if that situation, if that person is just did something really wrong, I'm going to forgive them, but I'm not going to continue to allow them to have a negative effect on my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Of course. But I notice with a lot of people that forgiveness can be interpreted in many ways. But what is your definition of forgiveness?
My definition is whenever my emotions are disconnected to it anymore. When I realize I can actually let go of it and think about it and realize I've let go of the emotion, I've forgiven it internally. Not that I've said it to that person, but when I really forgive somebody, it's whenever I've thought I can think about it. And when I think about it, I have no attachment or feelings and emotions that cause me any kind of pain at all. So that's when my full forgiveness, that's how I perceive forgiveness. Once I can forgive it within myself, that's whenever I can forgive the other person. If I don't, I'll tell the other person, but forgiving somebody is a lot more complicated than some people make it to be. I think like, you said that it's interpreted different ways, but I really just think like when I forgive somebody, it's going to feel like that situation was in the past. Like I can't even have any kind of pain about it anymore. It's just released. It's gone. It's done. It's over with. So when I stop feeling it, and whenever I work through my emotions, then it's forgiven.
Well said. Stubbornness.
Ooh, I'm very stubborn. That's like a flaw in myself, and I've come to realize that actually in this past month. I would say I'm like a 5.
What happened this past month for you to realize it?
I had like a connection with somebody that I put a lot of blame on, and I didn't look to myself. I kind of, had a lot of self-reflecting that I had to do, and things and actions that I made that I, could have handled differently. And my stubbornness was a big part of that. Me stubbornly not like looking at myself instead of, reevaluating me and taking care of how I need to be better. I would just, kind of put blame on other people. And that is a part of me being stubborn instead of realizing, hey, like you did these things wrong. Like this is a part where you could be better. I didn't do that. And that, hurt situations in my life. And I decided like, hey, I'm going to fix these and apologize and do some things differently. And that's still a big growing thing for me. I'm stubborn in a lot of ways. I like being right a lot. I don't like being wrong. It literally like pisses me off. I hate being wrong. It's just like, I want to be right. I want to do things right. I don't want to mess up. And being completely honest, my like dad growing up had like anger issues, like, just very short temper, short fuse. And unfortunately, I feel that in myself, that's something I'm still working on, because I'm not blaming him at all. I'm just saying as a kid growing up, seeing that so long, it definitely, I see that in myself sometimes, like snapping or doing things where I'm not slow to anger, and I want to be slower to anger. I want to be more patient and more, I'm patient, but I want to be more cautious of listening to other people instead of while they're talking, listening, like only thinking of myself, and, actually just like paying attention to other people around me and realizing other people have feelings and emotions that I need to also understand. I need to quit being so stubborn and thinking everything's about me, and just be more open to the fact that there's two sides to everything. And I guess that's kind of, I'm trying to be as real as possible. I know that I have stubborn like parts to myself that is something that I've like really realized that like even this month a lot. It's just been a learning experience. I'm 21. I'm still young. but I want to be very open about that, because I think that when you say something out loud into the world, when you speak it out of your mouth and you tell other people this is something you're working on, like, you have accountability, it becomes real, and you can now like start to make a difference in yourself and change. When you hold it all in, I think sometimes it's like it's not as real until you say it to other people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm pretty stubborn.
Well, I mean, at least you're making steps, but this is a very good sign of you changing, because you realize that you're stubborn, and you're definitely taking whatever happened this month as a lesson, circumstance.
100%. I want to grow from it. I want to look at this past month and be like, this was growth, and this was actually like a positive thing to be able to make in the future, make better decisions, and treat whatever like battles come next time with a different attitude and a different outcome, because that's the best way you can, like, apparently, interpret situations. Like, apparently that happened for a reason, and I grew from that, and I actually realized who I don't want to be like, and the person I was in that situation. And now the next time it happens, I'm not going to be like that. It's not going to end the same,
Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Open-minded.
I think this kind of, to me, is with stubbornness a little bit. So I'm going to give myself like a 3.5 to open-minded in certain situations. I think it's like my way, and I try to be open as much as possible, but I do have a hard time allowing like other things to be. It's like my way. It's like I'm like on my own lane, and it is really hard for me sometimes to just let other people get to me. And most of the time there are people that tell me things, and my stubbornness, it butts heads with that, and I'm like not as open-minded because it's my way. That's another thing I'm working on, is letting people tell me. I love like that. I was telling you, I love when people like criticize me in the right way so that I can change. And that is something I'm learning. I know I'm stubborn, but open-mindedness, I'm like halfway there. I'm moving on to a 4. Hopefully it'd be a 5 one day where I'm like just completely open-minded. But I definitely think I'm making good steps in that direction to be more open-minded. This is not something I knew about myself. I'll probably give myself a 5 last month. I'm like, I'm so open-minded. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. I've just learned so much about myself. This is crazy that it's happening this month, because the past month I've just learned so much about myself, and I'm imperfect human being, and I'm working on being as perfect as possible in this life, and it's gonna be steps at a time. But like I said, admitting it's the first step, so we're moving into the right direction.
First step to change is the will to change.
Yep. I like that.
Well, you don't want to be so open-minded, point of gullible. Of course. I mean, Jenny seems smart enough to know the difference between being open-minded and gullible.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of gullible sometimes, but at the same time, like I was telling you, I'm not good at school, so God gave me the gift of being okay with like understanding of people. So
yeah.
I don't have to worry about that.
You ever looked into the art of being an empath?
I have no idea what that is.
Empath or empathy. So the whole thing about IQ. IQ.
Oh, your IQ. Yeah,
your
yeah.
IQ. Well, there's another thing called EQ, which is empathy. So basically, the way that you can interpret other humans. So, because I'm the same way. So cool. I'm the same way. I've always had that gift to understand people. That's one of these things. But you should definitely look into that. Empath. You are an empath. I could already tell. It's just when you don't. It's weird thing about human beings is that it's hard to describe our feelings, but when we find a word that describes everything, we understand it on a deeper level because we know where to look.
That's like when you say that, like that word perseverance pops in my mind, because that just might be a word to people, but like you have no idea like the grip that it has on my life, and like what the power in that word, like, you know what I mean, to me. So That's really cool. Yeah, that was really deep, dude. Like, I want to look into that. That's cool. I told you whenever I was kind of thinking about life paths and I wanted to do like, social sciences, and I'm into like ethics and sociology, stuff like that. That was literally the two classes that my teachers were like, you love, like, I could tell you're like so excited to learn. I seriously was, because, you said you do stuff like this, these podcasts and this, but that's literally my streaming too. Like that is, there's all the fun into that, but truly, like, people know. I mean, okay, so 37,000 people message me and they're all having a bad day. It would be very hard for me to message everyone back. But that's why we're a family, because if one person has something going on, like, they literally message each other. That is so awesome to me, because that's how it's supposed to be. Like, and I really think it's important to reply to I think it's literally a part of my job and a part of who I am as a person, to try to reply to as many people as possible every single day. I literally put time aside to do that. Like, I literally right now have like 80 more messages I need to get back to, but I don't want to just be like, oh, it's okay, I'll get better. No, like, I put my effort into like replying to people. So it might take me a couple days to get back to them, but like, it's going to be what I truly feel. I'm not going to be at a stop sign and be like, okay, it's going to be all good, you're going to be fine. Like, no, like, I don't feel that way. I don't want to just say that. And again, it really is hard to get back to everybody, but that's why I try to be like that on stream. I try to make it super personal and real on stream too. Sometimes we'll just get in a topic of like how everyone's feeling that day, and we just like go off on an hour on a tangent. Everyone just throws and pours advice into chat, and it's like healing, and it's wonderful. And I actually don't know what we were talking about after this, but yeah, I don't know how I got into that.
No, it's fine. It's just, I feel like the biggest key after what we just spoke about is we're not so different. We all have similar problems, but just different people. And then when your chat's full of those words, it's like, holy shit, these people actually understand what the hell I'm coming from. I feel like that's the biggest part.
We're all just, sometimes I hear this a lot from streamers, and I can understand it, because being a streamer is not being a therapist. It's not. If I wanted to be a therapist, I would go be a therapist, and I never went to school for that. That's not my job. My job is to live, love, and make people happy every day with whatever that looks like. I'm not telling people they can just come into chat with negative attitude. That's why we keep a positive attitude. If they have something going on, I have a prayer wall, and I wish I could show you it right now. Let me take a picture. I have like a prayer wall, like literally right above my stream. And I put notes. I have one over by my bed as well, but I put like, I don't know if you can see it, like sticky notes above there.
Okay, yeah.
And I write down people's prayer requests. They'll whisper me stuff they want me to like pray about or whatever like that. And I put them above there, and I will pray through them throughout the day. Or sometimes if they want me to do it right on stream, I'll literally just like do it right on stream. And I have one over there too. I'm like trying to fill up my wall with whatever they're like, whenever they need and whatever. So sometimes they'll whisper me it. Sometimes we'll talk about it openly in chat. But the biggest difference, I think, between that is that I allow that to be a thing, because I want people to feel comfortable. I don't want people to think they're compressing. You have to come to the stream and feel compressed and feel fake and feel whatever. Tell me what you want. Tell me, like, talk. Let's be real. Let's be honest. But let's like turn it into a positive. Let's not just dwell on that situation. Okay. For instance, you had like a passing of somebody, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I would rather that be whispered to me, so that could be something I could pray about, because I never want, for me personally, I have enough respect for everybody else to not make my issues inflict pain upon other people. And I think they should have the same respect for me and my stream, that if they're going through something, it should be like a private conversation that's like, if it's very deep like that. Now, with that being said, I think that's still something that needs to be discussed and talked about, but I don't think it needs to affect all the 100 other people in the stream at that time. There's right and wrong ways to go about it. If somebody's constantly, most of the time, unfortunately, it's kids that just are spamming, like crying, I'm so sad and depressed, stuff like that. That comes into the therapy side of it. My job is to show love and kindness and honestly give people an escape from the real world for a little bit, and find me. They're not going to turn on a television show if they're sad to feel more sad and feel more whatever, they're gonna try to do that as a distraction. That's sort of how my stream is too. And then however it happens, if it happens that day and we flow into like a moment of that encouragement, whatever that is, I will give encouragement. I will give advice about everything all the time. And whatever I feel needs to be said, I'll just be like, okay, God, what does this person need to hear from me today? And if it comes out, you know, whatever needs to come out. But again, I don't want that to change the stream's function. And if somebody has a respect for me and everybody else in the chat, they should understand that. Again, I do try to get back to everybody and reply to everybody, so that if that's a conversation that really needs to be had and you're going through something super hard, like never feel like you can't message me or talk to me. Again, if it's not me, message anybody else in the community that you feel that has that love to, because it's literally all of us. It's not just me. Like, we are all a family. And I kind of want to just say that out loud to everybody like that does listen to this YouTube video, or if you're listening and now, that is something so true. We say to people, like, keep going, keep a smile on your face, keep being positive. It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay not okay. And that's something I want to let y'all know. Like, don't ever feel like you have to fake being happy, but just know that we're going to give you advice and you're going to push through and you're going to find that confidence within yourself, and we're going to be there with you every step of the way. It's okay not to be okay. It's not okay not to stay okay. It's like not okay not to stay not okay. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Wise words again. Jenny out here spitting bars. Look at you. All right, next one. Spirituality.
Can I like get you to like explain what your idea of that is? Because when I think of that word, I have like a strong connection to it, but I want to know like what you mean by that.
Why is it that you want to clarify it though?
Just because I think people, when they think of that word, it's kind of like spirit could mean a lot of different things to different people. So I kind of just getting whenever you're asking me that, I want to know what you think about it first, so that I can like use the right words to explain my feelings behind it.
Knowing that there's something out there that's higher power.
Okay, well then I would definitely give myself a 5.
That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to actually get into, is like why and how is your faith so strong?
I know I've seen, especially being like more independent, I grew up really fast because I was kind of talking about my mom. Her mom passed away when she was 6, and she ended up being, you know, like on her own at 15 and in like really bad families and stuff like that. So she never really had I would say like her dad ended up going to prison. These are really deep stuff, but her life wasn't perfect, and she never really knew what it was like to have a mom and dad type family and experience. So, and with my dad, I know his dad was like, had a brokenness about him. He wasn't a part of his life. So my dad didn't get to really see how to parent as well. And just there was stuff in both of their lives that was really broken as well. So when they came together and had children, they never really knew, and they never planned on how they were going to parent, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it left a lot of room for me to decide I'm going to make decisions. And I never had a curfew. I never had really rules. And I honestly am so grateful for that, because I never did anything wrong growing up. Like, I made my own decisions. I said, all right, here's the thing. If I do these things, I know the consequences of them, not because I'm not going to do them because I don't want to do them. I'm not doing them, or I'm not going to not do them because somebody's telling me I can't. And that made me really strong in just saying I have the ability to make my own decisions to make me better. And every day, like, I told you, like, so from a young age, I was doing cheerleading. I just saw, like, I saw flaws in myself, you know, from, if it was from my parents, if I did have a short temper in situations, if I did do certain things that I didn't like about myself. And the only thing that let me feel free again and feel forgiven and feel like I had a fresh start was running to the Father, like running to him and just giving it to him and releasing that to him. Because I carried a lot of like burdens from a broken like family and situations that I didn't want to be a part of, and always asking God, like, why am I in this family? Like, I literally never did anything wrong. My brother had his own life. I'm not going to like bring him into this. Like, he did his own thing, and it looked a lot different than my life. And just a lot of, I didn't understand why I was in the family that I've been put in. I still question it a lot sometimes, but again, like, you asking me that kind of makes me see like I was put in this family for a reason, and it honestly was to find that I am myself, fully me. And it was because I had a father that wasn't on earth, like he is in heaven, and I am taken care of. And I don't know exactly. I remember something like when I was really young. I know when I was 12, this happened, like some really big fight in my family, and something really like just went down that was just like really hard. And I never could have friends over because everyone fought all the time. I like didn't ever want to go spend the night at other people's houses because I knew that I couldn't invite them back over to spend the night. And I like feel bad about that. I always cared about other people, and I knew I was caring, and I knew these things about myself. And the only person that ever made me feel secure and safe was God. Like, I would just talk to him. I would just literally sit in my bed. Like, I literally remember like being in that specific corner of my room. It was like my bed was differently, but I was like look out the window and like look into the sky, and I would just think like, this world is so much bigger than me. This situation I'm in is like making me who I am. Like, if I wasn't going through this pain, I would never have wanted to look for something better and look to God. And so I know when people go through situations, I say everything happens for a reason. And sometimes I think that reason is to just bring people back into the presence of God, to really help them experience what it is like to be fully alive and fully feel. So I do remember being 12 and years going, like growing up, just continuously like things going on in my family, that the only thing that literally made me feel happy was just knowing like there's a God that loved me, and this wasn't it. Like, I had hope in a future that wasn't what the world had to offer. So seeing that really just made me realize that is the person like I want to be, is somebody that is connected to God and in his presence. And that's the best version of myself. So there was just stuff that I think happened through my life that I know that if they didn't happen, I wouldn't be the person I am right now. And I wouldn't have the faith I have right now. And seeing my mom, I brought this up earlier, but seeing my mom have such faith after like seeing her mom die at 6 and going through like literally unspeakable pain growing up and things that no one wants to think about, and her still continuing to look to the Father and wake up every day. And like, even now at this point, like, she works at Walmart, she's 60, and she had to do that because like we have to make an income, we have to do what we got to do. And like God, I literally see God in her like no other and she's given me strength, and I'm very grateful for her. I just think when you experience it, it's unexplainable necessarily. Like, it doesn't make sense to others until you have the same experience. So you feel so lost, and the only thing that is going to make you feel whole and make you feel peace, like inner peace that you never experienced, is God. Then that's why I persevere, is because if this world is the only thing that there was to like have, I'd be literally like depressed all the time. I don't want to think this is it. I know that there's something better. I have hope. I'm excited because I'm not fearful of like passing. I'm not fearful of anything. I'm just trying to make the most of every day and see the blessings in every day. And I honestly try to accept suffering and enjoy suffering because I know that it's for a greater good. I suffer so I can learn, so that I can love others better. I suffer and rejoice in suffering because is making me a better person. It's growing me. And in the end, I know this isn't good. I'm not going to be suffering forever. So I'm going off like deep into my soul right now, but this is just how I feel truly. So.
Oh, thank you for sharing it with us. There's a lot of people are listening right now, either currently or in the future, that are listening to this. And your words are going to shine light to. Thank you for sharing. I really, truly do. Don't hope. No.
No, I know they do.
Okay.
Or like the crosses in chat. Yes.
Yeah.
Cross emote. Let's
go. All right. Last attribute. Luck.
Love.
Luck.
Oh, luck.
Yeah, luck.
I don't believe in luck.
This is why I asked this. It's an interesting topic. So why don't you believe in luck?
I had a math teacher in 9th grade. I was really struggling because I actually never shared this. I do on stream sometimes, but I'm dyslexic. And you are too.
Yeah.
I really struggled reading, and I struggled with math really bad, especially when we got into like algebra and switching numbers. And oh gosh.
Struggle.
That was a horrible time. Okay, anyway, but I had a math teacher that worked really hard and saw something in me that I didn't like, no one else kind of gave up on. They're like, well, she's literally just, I can't get it. I don't understand, But he worked with me outside of class and really helped teach me. If I didn't understand it that way, he would show me in a different way. He would just not give up on me. He kept showing me how I could be good and how it is possible to get good at anything. Like, you just have to keep working for it. So with that being said, he taught me a lot, and I grew a lot, and I was confident in my like taking tests. And he used to tell me, he was like, before I would take a test, he's like, do good. And I was like, why don't you ever say good luck? Like, everyone's like, oh, do good luck on your test. He's like, no, because you don't need luck. Like, you're going to do good because you know what you're doing and you're going to go do good. Like, there's no need for luck. I don't believe in luck. I think you fight for what you desire, and it happens with your hard work. So I actually like kind of put that in that. I mean, that's just on a test or in that situation, but even in regular life, you don't start streaming and just get lucky. Like, it's either meant to be and you grow really quick, but you're the one that is pressing that live button every day. You're the one that is streaming every day and bringing energy. And some people say other people get lucky. I don't think it's luck. I think it's, I would say, more of fate. I would use more of the word fate. I think it's either going to be happening or not going to be happening. And I think that a lot of people think, oh, well, this girl just got lucky on stream because whatever reason, ABC, they can say whatever. Yeah. But I know people like Valkyrie, like I see Pokemon, like they put in work, like they do the dang thing.
They do it.
So I don't believe in luck. I think it's hard work.
It's a good, you know who Tony Robbins is?
I do. Yep. I used to listen to him actually a lot growing up when I was 15, 16. That was like somebody I listened to a lot too. Cause again, I'm bringing up Maya. She was my boss, my first boss when I worked at the boutique, and she like went to his convention and stuff like that and kind of introduced me to him.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love his definition of luck. His definition of luck is when preparation beats opportunity.
Yep. I also, there's a quote that's in my gym, and it says, hard work beats, what is it? It's like hard work beats, like basically it's kind of saying like hard work beats natural abilities when, or I literally want to look on their Instagram to see what it says right now, because I know it's saying like when something refuses to work hard, what is it called whenever you have abilities like talent, that's it, talent. Yes.
Oh, hybrid says hard work beats talent.
Hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. That's what it says on the gym wall. Hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. You could be talented in something. You could literally be like a professional football player, but if you don't put in hard work, your talent's going to waste. So yeah, I like that too.
It's true. Everybody's got to put in that work. Alrighty, Jenny, that was your attributes. Thank you for sharing. We saw your attributes. Now you're off to your main quest. So what is your main quest?
I want to find happiness in every day.
Explain that.
I don't want to go through the motions. I don't want to have an end goal. So I don't want to say my end goal is to have whatever somebody's end goal would be. I have things in my mind, like maybe I want to hit, like, numbers or whatever. But again, that's more of like my like businessy stuff. But in full honesty, like I don't want to have an end goal. My end goal would be to not set myself up for a goal. If I set myself for a goal and I hit that goal, what's next? Do I set another one? I do believe in setting goals. I think it is important, but I want my goal to be way higher than I could imagine or think it's possible. So I don't want to set myself up for failure, not meaning I'm going to, but I want to see my future as unlimited. I kind of don't want to be realistic necessarily. I want to be realistic and like thinking this is possible, but like I want to be kind of unrealistic and think the impossible to happen and like manifest the impossible.
Yeah, there's no such thing as impossible though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Oh,
there's no such thing, but your brain forgets that most days. So my main quest and finding happiness is literally just not okay. This is why I think a lot of people have problems with it. I'm really excited to talk about this because people that have end goals and they hit that goal a lot of the times feel empty still. Like they are very satisfied, but then the next day it's like, I'll just keep going. Like that's fine.
There's a reason
pushing for the next thing, but it's not about hitting that. It's about appreciating what you have now. Because if you don't appreciate what you have right now, you have 100 followers, 5 followers, whatever followers you have, if you don't appreciate the people that are putting time into you right now and your journey, if you do not learn to appreciate it every single day, if you have 10 million followers, and Ninja will tell you this, like if you have 2 million followers, I'm sure he would say this. It doesn't matter what number that gets to or how many people are in there. If you don't learn to appreciate your journey and your growth and every little beat, like every little thing, and never forget to be grateful and thankful and never stop saying it and live in thankfulness, you will never be satisfied. And if you find satisfaction in every day, I think that is a part of being happy in every day, living in the moment, learning, loving, growing. And that's something you're able to do every day. You should be grateful that you have that ability to grow every day. If you don't hit the number, if you don't hit that milestone that you hit that day, don't be discouraged. Use that to be better the next day. That day is almost as important as the day that you hit what your goal is, the day that you don't. Because that means if you get on the stream the next day and you're picked yourself up and you're better, you grew. Like, does that make sense? So yeah, being happy in every single day, even whenever it looks like a day that was maybe failed or you felt unaccomplished, like whatever, being happy in the moment.
I feel like a lot of the issues is that when people set goals and they finally meet them, they hope when they meet that goal, it's going to solve a problem they currently have.
Yep.
So it's like one of those huge reality checks that they have for themselves. Like, wow.
Yeah, I never want to be in that position.
Yeah. I have 1 million followers. I got all these viewers. And I hit this. Why do I still feel like this?
That is literally a part of, like, remember that self-love we were talking about earlier? And that's huge. I think it's literally, that's that. You don't find fulfillment in other people. You find fulfillment in whatever, like, again, this is whatever it is for you. But for me, growing up in my experiences in life, it's God. Like, I find fulfillment and wholeness in that. If you don't know what that is for you yet, you're never going to be satisfied, and there's going to be a void that's left empty, no matter how many numbers, no matter what dollars in your bank account, no matter what it is in this life, because you realize that one day you're going to pass away, you're going to die, like, and then you just think, what's next? You literally have to just sit. I think it's actually so important to sit down at least for 10 minutes off your phone, off of everything. I literally tweeted something out about this today, but just sitting in your own presence and sitting in a place where you learn about yourself that day. And it was sitting in the presence of God, just like whatever peace is for you, like finding that inner peace every day and being in tune with yourself is like so important. Because again, like people just run after their goals and grind every day, don't sleep, like whatever this. And like at some point, like they're gonna wake up and realize they're not satisfied. They're gonna wake up and realize it doesn't matter how much time and how much effort and all the stuff you put into it if your heart isn't in the right place and your soul isn't happy and like voids aren't filled.
Facts.
So,
basically your main quest is you don't want to have a goal, but yet you want to work towards something.
Yeah, I want to work towards a place where I could wake up and never thought that would be my life. So I think that's my quest, is to wake up and realize, what the, like that's literally what might happen to me one day.
I'm done. Yeah. I need me one of those. You just gave me so many good ideas for a better production for this show. Holy shit.
Shout out to my
do it for me.
Thank y'all for supporting me to get that.
Do it for me real quick. Holy. Oh wait, you got your coffee in it.
Oh, sorry. Go again.
Holy. Nice teamwork. Okay. Another thing, and I have like a list of things to give you after this when we do post, but there's this Japanese way of thinking. It's called the wandering flame, to where like this is us, right? Here's life, and here's us, that flame, that little spark of life. We're gonna go like this, ups and downs, but like being that we are a flame, we're also attracted to other flame, whatever they are. But the fact that we're going like this makes us with no direction. But a flame always needs a direction. Us. That's just who we are as human beings. When we have this goal, it doesn't matter if you go up. We're making progress. Wandering flame.
For the other.
Perseverance. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God, here we go. What are you talking about, hybrid? No, I am not editing that part out. Stop. Anyway.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that, because I think like, fire is drawn to fire. Like whenever you see, like the law of attraction we were talking about, I think you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
But that fire, if you have a fire in you, you're going to desire to be around people that have that fire too. So I think that's why I surround myself with, I'm on a stream team called DK. I surround myself with people that literally are passionate for what we do. And it helps me so much, because I realize they'd wake up and do it every day. I'm gonna wake up and do it every day. We all have motivation and love, and let's keep persevering. Let's keep doing it. And surround yourself with people that push themselves and like are going after the same things as you. You know what I mean? And just want the same things. It's cool, because I don't think you can do life without a community. I think that we were put on earth to be a part of each other's lives, to be in a community. And I never thought in a million years I would be able to have a community so strong and so loving. And I am most like grateful for the love that we all have in the community. And it's so mind-blowing what we've been capable of. It's just
crazy, right? When a group of y'all have a common goal, like what y'all can accomplish.
Yeah.
We can move mountains.
Yep.
But then like we're just natural social animals though. Like if you think about it, like going back to caveman days, we grew up around each other.
Yeah.
We're just natural social animals.
Yep. And I think this is something to point out too, is I was saying like the good, like the flame is attracted to like other flames. I think every day you wake up, you have to decide like, hey, what do you want? Like, what do you want to do today? Like, what you make these decisions. You make probably about 10 decisions without even thinking in the first like minute of your life. Every day you wake up, you make these decisions. But that's what changing your mindset's so important, because if you think, you know, whatever your end goals are going to be, you want to make sure that those are in line with what you actually want. If that's happiness, like change your mindset from thinking you have to until you get to.
Yeah.
And that is going to put you around other people that have the same mentality, and being around that. What am I trying to say? Being that in the world draws other people to that, and maybe like bringing that out of yourself is going to bring that out of other people when you're constantly helping. If the more you help yourself, the more you are helping other people, and it becomes less as selfishness and more as selflessness. Loving yourself is a form of being selfless, actually, is my opinion, because when you learn to do that, you're actually enabling other people to do the same. So it's like a ripple effect.
Humans are crazy, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. We are crazy.
All right, so that was your main quest. So with every main quest, there's always some side quests. What are some of your side quests?
Well, right now, I am wanting to be a lot more active. That's a quest of mine, I guess. I'm finding, being active, taking care of myself as much as possible. One of my side quests, growing my social media is a big side quest for me. I love pictures and videos and stuff like that. So, side quests away from like the streaming thing, more content creating. I'm trying to create more content and photos and pictures. I just bought a new lens that was very pricey, but I'm investing in my future, and I think that that's priceless. So in essence, I'm just putting it towards, the future, whatever that looks like. And my goal is, to grow on Instagram. I want to be not Insta famous, not like that. I want to be influential in a way that's like,
you want to have a presence.
I can put this kind of spirit of joy and love to the world to a lot more people than I'm grateful for the people I have again. But obviously, continuing to grow and having a bigger audience is an important thing, and having good quality of photos and pictures and everything like that is a big goal. So y'all go follow me on my socials.
Yeah, we'll definitely plug that in at the end. No worries. It's okay. Kidding. No. We will. Anything else?
All right, good. Wait, what'd you say?
Anything else? Any other side quests?
I feel like I'm gonna think of something after this is over that I'm like doing on the side or whatever. But I guess a side quest too is having. This is like, I guess not really off topic, but I guess it might play into this. A side quest is like making time for the people I love outside of social media and the world, like as a streaming life. There is a balance. I think my side quest is to also make sure I don't miss my family growing up, my nephew, my nieces, and like whatever other relationships I have in my life, friendships, and whatnot. I don't want to take for granted those, and I want to make sure I put my energy into them as well. So that's a quest of mine to fulfill.
Said.
Thank you.
So you completed your main quest and your side quests, and you reach your final boss. What is your final boss you wish to conquer?
My final boss? Wait. Can I ask what your final boss is? Because I really don't know what that means.
My final boss?
Yeah.
I'm trying to shorten it. Because it's not about me, it's about you, okay? I'm trying to shorten it.
Okay.
But
I think I know what you mean, but I maybe just throw an example. It doesn't have to be
an example.
I want to know yours, but if you don't want to talk about yours, that's fine. Or definition of what final boss is to you.
Final boss is like, what is, damn.
Is it like Bowser? Is it like Mario?
I guess, yeah, like that. It's just like
the last challenge.
Yeah.
You have to like conquer Bowser.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
I would say myself, like, I don't see anybody else getting in the way of what I want other than me. I think when I grow every day, when I take the time to be the best me, that's when I know I'm in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm fighting against myself to be the better me every day. So it's not anything in the universe, in the world, that is stopping me other than myself. So I would say I'm my own final boss. I would say I'm working to slay the demons, slay all the negative things that are within me that are natural human things that might be causing, negative outcomes in my life. When I finally, and that's never going to go away. I don't think there's a time in your life whenever you're like, okay, I am fully content. I'm fully accomplished. I've done it all. I think you're always going to have stuff you're fighting. But if you are fighting them and you're standing up for them and you're realizing them within yourself, then you're winning every day. So.
Good final boss. So say you conquer your final boss and then it hits game over. What is the story or legacy you wish to leave when somebody opens your save file?
Golly, that just got so deep so fast. Oh, man. What I like to tell people and what I would want them to remember most is don't forget who you are, whatever that means to you. Don't forget your worth. Don't forget what you want to accomplish in this life. Don't forget, stop fighting for love, whatever that looks like, whoever that is, whatever your end goal, whatever you desire out of life. Never stop fighting to be the person that can have that as like their future. And again, even talking about this earlier, we don't know what that looks like, but you have to wake up every day and take it one day at a time and never stop persevering. Life's going to throw things at you. It's not meant to be easy. Life was never meant to be easy, but you keep going, you keep growing, you keep getting stronger. Don't forget you're a fighter. And there's one footprint in the sands because God's carrying you sometimes. And I really believe that. I don't think it's our own strength. I think it's strength that's found within us through God. And there's some things that we can't explain in life. There's some situations we look at and we won't be able to ever explain, but that's not for us to understand. What is for us to understand is how we can best take care of others and ourselves and be the best version of us. Also, best thing I could tell everybody in this save file, if they open this up, is today is a new day. There's only moving forward from here. Make the day the best it can be, and don't forget to wear your smile.
Jenny smiles, everybody. Good. That's a good one. Good save file. All right, last question. Where can people find you? This is where you plug in everything.
Jenny smiles.
Hey, where else?
It's probably most of the time. Is this me like shouting my socials out?
Yes, this is you.
Oh, okay. Twitter, it's Jenny Simile, Similee. On Twitter, it's just Jenny Simile, Jenny Simile on Instagram, and then Jenny Simile on YouTube. So that's about it.
Damn.
Oh, also TikTok. Jenny Simile with 2 S's at the end.
Yeah, y'all have TikTok too. That's actually smart.
Jenny smiles. TikTok is the new thing. I'm telling you. I'm trying to get into it.
If you ain't on it, you're sleeping on it. You're definitely missing out.
I know it's so much fun. It's hard to do. It's hard to juggle. That's what I was saying. Like, kind of, that was my, side hustle sort of, is like taking care of all those socials, because that is definitely a part of this job,
Definitely. And find a friend or somebody that's cool with a low compensation to at least manage your social media, because that helps a ton. I'm actually looking for one too.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
It's definitely a help. Damn, Jenny smiles. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast and just really sharing everything. I feel like a lot of people can take in a lot and learn a lot from what you shared with us today.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you for having this available to me to be able to talk openly. I feel super comfortable, and I feel really happy that I was able to share things that were in my heart I didn't even know were there, that I can go back and look at this and it can actually be like me talking to myself as well. And I think that's super cool. And maybe one day, actually, no, pause, cut that out. One day when I wake up in that position where I'm like, what the, I can go back and watch this and be like, I knew that this was going to happen to me. So thank you for allowing me to come on and taking the time to write these questions out and ask me and actually be genuinely curious about me, because it's really cool and I appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right, last thing before we close out the episode. Who are you and whose save file is this?
I'm Jenny Smiles, and this is my save file.
Hey, to everybody in the chat, thank you for showing all the love and support. I've seen all the follows, of course. Thank you for all the support. I do this every Thursday. What's the name of your community, by the way?
We just call it the Smiles fam.
The Smiles fam. Y'all are awesome. Y'all will definitely see me in there a lot more, hanging out with y'all. Jenny's an amazing soul, and she brings out such good spirits, and we need a lot more of those in the world. And I thank you for being one of those.
Thank you as well. I appreciate you. Feel the same.
Of course. All righty, y'all. Stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, gamers, stay golden. Until next time, my friends. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.